didn't see you there. I'm sorry. How inconsiderate of me. Well, anyway, hello. My name is Brady Gallenfeld, and I'm running to be your president. I grew up in a small town in Iowa. A little background about myself is I know what it feels like to be a working man. I've had a job since I was 15 years old. I believe time is money, and money is time. Your time is also very valuable to me. So, personally, I thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Now, I grew up with three older brothers. Throughout all of the family feuds, I have learned to have patience and compromising skills. They have beat me up from time to time, but I know how to get up and keep going, even when being pushed down. Now I'm going to cut to the chase. My party, the Gucci Party, would like to stay Gucci with America. And that means we want to make America good, chill, cool. And right now, America is not in the place to be Gucci. Now, there are a few things as president I would like to do to change that. First off, I would like to make college tuition more affordable. The amount of debt a student goes into impacts their life choices. Now, since the late 90s, the heavy burden of college debt has caused students to delay getting married, having children, and buying a home until later in life. It puts a setback on many students' lives because they feel like they have to pay most of the major loans off before putting more money into those things like a car, kids, new home, and all of that, and a spouse. It can take years before getting a decent portion of the tuition paid off, and it takes away from some of the opportunities that they could have had. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves, how do I plan to do this? Well, first off, by taxing alcohol and tobacco products. The taxes from these would be collected each year, and it would be compared to the enrollment in public universities. This does not mean that college is free, but it just means that there's more available grants for the students to apply for, therefore making it more affordable than paying it all by themselves, which is very helpful. Next, we would like to legalize marijuana. Doing so makes our $20 trillion debt slowly go down. It may take time, but it's right now. For the state of Colorado, they made $200 million off of tax revenue, while sales hit up to $1 billion. Yes, we are taking into consideration that since it is something new, a lot of people are going to try it, so sales would typically be up. This was for one state, though. Imagine if it was throughout the entire country, how much money in tax revenue we would be making. Now, not to mention the great benefits for medical uses of the cannabis, it would be very beneficial for certain illnesses and diseases. It would greatly benefit people who suffer from schizophrenia, PTSD, muscle spasms, and people going through chemotherapy, and also children who have constant seizures, and many more illnesses that people are suffering from and diseases. The great thing about medical marijuana is it doesn't contain the THC that makes a person high. Also, with legalizing the marijuana, the number of overcrowded jails would start to go down. In 2016, there was almost 600,000 arrests made just for marijuana. Taxpayers' money that is used to fund jails could be used a little more practically, making them more secure and having more rehabilitation facilities for the violent criminals. The police should be less worried about simple marijuana cases and be more worried about the violent crimes that occur. They would like to fix also with this ongoing problem of our gun control. As we know, it has taken multiple tragedies for our eyes to be open to the problem that we are facing. The biggest problem is that guns are getting into the wrong hands of the wrong people. Now, to attempt to fix this raging problem that we have, we are proposing that mental institutions, CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, all keep up to date on a database that says who's red flagged from owning a gun. This database would be shared with all gun shops, gun shows, and gun fairs, basically any place that sells guns. Now, they have to update this database daily, So that means there would be a minimum of a day's wait to get the gun. Also, with this, there will be a test that the person buying the gun must complete. The questions on this test will determine whether the person is able to own a gun safely and soundly. Now, it would be beneficial for the community for the person to take this test. This will be required for all gun selling places. By doing this, we hope to minimize the amount of wrongful sales. Now, we are still left with the problem of illegal sales on the black market. That is why I would issue a task force that is only for that purpose. Their only job would be to take care of the illegal gun sales and the black market behind the closed doors. It would be similar to the DEA, but for guns. Alongside this, I would like to propose a more affordable healthcare for people who show the financial need. There would be a portion of the money that from the marijuana tax revenue that would be set aside for more affordable healthcare. The people who show that they need financial help will be required to fill out a form that shows their income, where they live, any children, if they have a spouse or if they're divorced, etc. All of that stuff would be considered. And they would be given a code that they could give to their healthcare provider that would give them a certain amount of money to help out with their payments. And the code prevents any cheating of the system. They would also be given a certain amount of flex money that they could use in case of someone getting hurt or sick. Under the affordable healthcare, there would be more school lunch options. Schools are given a specific amount of specifications that they have to follow. It's like how many greens they can serve, how much meat, fruits, and so on. We would like to expand on this with more options and be more flexible so the lunches will be more lively and less pasteurized. We would make salad bar mandatory so the students that didn't like what was being served on that day had an option. The schools would be highly encouraged to get their food from successful business owners and have it locally, therefore keeping the local economy thriving while getting the students more fresh food that could be more appetizing. Many schools are not fortunate enough to have cooks who want the students to enjoy what they eat. Some simply do not care, and that's why it is important that we expand our menu options. Okay. These were just a few things out of the wide range of many things that we could do to make our America Gucci. I want to thank you again for taking the time to listen to our proposals. For your benefit, help me, help you. Thank you, and happy voting. I'm Brady, and I approve this message.